Is Vizio SmartCast really that bad? That's a real question someone asked on Reddit. The top answer? Yes. One word, no hesitation. And most of the commenters agreed, with one suggesting get a streaming stick rather than using the TV's built-in SmartCast. That's the level of frustration we're talking about when you buy the wrong smart TV in 2026. And here's the scary part. That wasn't even the worst brand we found. I spent 2 weeks digging through Consumer Reports data, RT, ING, S-Lab tests, thousands of Amazon reviews, and BBB complaints to rank the 7 major smart TV brands you'll actually find at Walmart, Best Buy, and Costco. Some of these results are going to surprise you, especially number 3. Rankings number 7 to number 1. Number 7. Vizio, the Surveillance Special. Let's start at the bottom with Vizio. And there's one reason this brand sits dead last: trust. Back in 2017, the Federal Trade Commission hit Vizio with a $2.2 million fine for collecting and selling personal user information to third parties without proper disclosure. Their TVS were literally spying on what you watched. Everything from Netflix to your DVD player to your cable box, and selling that data to advertisers. Consumer Affairs shows 85% of Vizio's reviews are 1-star ratings. 85%. But it's not just the privacy violations. The software is a disaster. Vizio OS was originally built around the idea of casting from your phone instead of running apps natively on the TV. It's unstable, buggy, and one Amazon reviewer summed it up perfectly. Vizio has a goofy OS that likes to push ads and has odd behaviors at times. Consumer Reports gives Vizio an overall rating of 58 out of 100. 55% of M-Series users report smart hub freezes within 18 months. The TV works fine for 6 months, then the interface starts lagging, apps crash, and you're stuck power cycling the thing twice a week just to watch Netflix. Current pricing? You can find a 65-inch Vizio for around $400. Tempting, right? But here's what nobody tells you at checkout. That savings disappears when you're buying a Roku stick 3 months later because the built-in system is unusable. Bottom line, Vizio is the TV equivalent of a phone that comes with spyware pre-installed. At any price, it's not worth it. Number 6. Westinghouse, the dinosaur that forgot to evolve. Westinghouse earns the second to last spot, and honestly, I almost didn't include them, because finding one in 2026 is like spotting a dinosaur. Consumer Reports rates them 54 out of 100. 65% of buyers report hardware failures within 24 months. That's barely past the standard warranty period. The WR55UX model has over 10,500 reports on Amazon of panel cracks. Not from dropping the TV, just cracks that appear spontaneously because the panel quality is garbage. RTINGS tested their brightness at 350 nits. For context, you need at least 800 nits for a decent HDR experience. Watching HDR content on a Westinghouse is like watching high-definition content on a standard-definition screen. Technically possible, but why would you? One user described audio that distorts above 50% volume. Imagine watching an action movie and having to keep it quiet enough that you can't hear the explosions clearly, because turning it up makes everything sound like it's coming through a blown speaker. They run Android TV, which should be fine, except 18% of devices brick themselves during software updates. You wake up one morning, try to turn on your TV, and it's a $220 paperweight. Speaking of $220, that's what a 55-inch Westinghouse costs. But repair bills average $180 when something goes wrong. You're essentially buying a disposable TV that costs almost as much to fix as replace. Bottom line, Westinghouse is what happens when a once-respected brand gets bought, gutted, and turned into a vehicle for selling the cheapest components possible. Avoid. To number 5. Philips. The flickering mystery box. Philips lands in 5th place, and this one's complicated because Philips doesn't even make most of their own TVS anymore. The brand name got licensed out to third-party manufacturers, which explains a lot about the inconsistency. Consumer Reports shows Philips has the same reliability score as Samsung, which sounds great until you see the owner satisfaction score. It's the second lowest on the entire list, just 1 point above dead last Toshiba. The number 1 complaint? Screen flickering. Multiple user reviews mention this problem, and it's not the kind that goes away with a firmware update. It's a hardware issue that suggests poor quality control in manufacturing. Smart Home Scope tested the 4-3PUS7608 and found the smart TV platform responsive and easy to use. That's the good news. The bad news? The limited color range and lack of true black levels. One reviewer specifically noted that Disney Plus and HBO weren't even available as apps. In 2026, on a smart TV, bigger screen sizes have more problems. Multiple users report that Philips TVs over 50 inches develop issues faster than smaller models. When you're paying $500 to $700 for a 55-inch Philips, that's not acceptable. Customer service is another nightmare. Reviews mention difficulty getting warranty claims processed and long wait times for support that often doesn't resolve the issue. Bottom line, Philips used to mean quality. Now it means we sold our name to whoever wanted to use it. The TVS that result are a lottery. Sometimes you get lucky, usually you don't. Board number 4. Hisense. The Backlight time bomb. This ranking is going to make some people mad because Hisense has hardcore fans who'll defend these TVS to their last breath. But the data tells a different story. Consumer Reports' 2024 survey shows 68% of Hisense owners reporting issues within 2 years. The U6K series scores 4.1 out of 5 on Amazon, which looks great until you dig into the BBB complaints and find a 25% complaint rate specifically about backlight failures. One Best Buy reviewer said, "Bought the U6K for $499. Picture looked great for 4 months. Then I started noticing dark patches in the corners. By month 6, half the screen had visible backlight bleeding. Hisense wanted $380 to repair a 6-month-old TV." Ardings tested Hisense models and found native contrast ratios around 1,200 to 1. Can you compare that to 5,000 to 1 on decent mini LED sets or infinite contrast on OLEDs? Dark scenes look gray instead of black, and once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Here's the thing though, Hisense's higher-end models like the U8QG actually punch above their weight. Tom's Guide called it a mini LED marvel with incredible brightness and color saturation at $997. That model is solid, but their budget stuff, the U6K, the A6 series, the entry-level models people actually buy at Walmart, those are where the problems live. Google TV integration is decent when it works, but AVS forum logs show a 20% app crash rate. That's 1 crash out of every 5 times you try to open Netflix. Unacceptable. Bottom line, if you're buying Hisense, spend the money on the U8 series or walk away. The budget models are ticking time bombs. Number 3, TCL, the value play with hidden costs. TCL sits right in the middle of our rankings, and this might be the most controversial placement because TCL has become the darling of the budget TV market. Walk into any Walmart and you'll see TCL 65-inch sets for $298. But there's a reason they're not higher on this list. Consumer Reports gives TCL 56 out of 100 overall. with a 62% failure rate by year 3. Think about that. If you buy a TCL TV today, there's better than even odds it'll have problems before 2029. The QM8 models, their premium mini LED line, running $1,300 to $2,000, have over 12,000 complaints on Amazon for color banding and audio dropouts. Color banding means when you're watching a sunset scene or anything with gradual color transitions, instead of smooth changes, you see visible stripes of color. It's like watching through broken blinds. One user described it perfectly. Paid $1,500 for the QM8K. The picture looked amazing in the store. Got it home and every sky scene has these weird bands of color. Can't unsee it now. RTINGS rates their motion handling at 6.8 out of 10, with a 12 millisecond response time. For context, ideal is 5 milliseconds or less. If you watch sports, you'll see motion blur during fast action. A quarterback's arm becomes a smear. The ball leaves trails. It's subtle enough that you might not notice immediately, but once you see it on a friend's better TV, it's hard to go back. There was a class action lawsuit in 2024 claiming deceptive QLED marketing. The allegation? TCL's quantum dots fade 30% faster than Samsung's. Your TV looks great for a year, vibrant and colorful. Then around month 14, you notice the reds aren't as punchy. By year 2, colors that used to pop now look washed out, and you're stuck with a TV that looks worse than a standard LED display. The BBB logs 8,500 complaints yearly, most about warranty denials. TCL's standard warranty is 12 months. One user said, TCL 65-inch died at 14 months, 2 months past warranty. They offered to fix it for $425. The TV cost $650 new. I basically had to buy a new TV anyway. But, and this is important, TCL's mid to upper range models are actually good. Really good. The QM6K at $550 is one of the best budget 65-inch TVs you can buy right now. BGR called it the best budget smart TV in 2026, and they're not wrong. It offers mini LED backlighting, quantum dots, and a native 120 Hz refresh rate, features that cost $1,500 plus 3 years ago. With the QM7K at $1,000 to $1,300, offers mini LED performance that embarrasses TVS twice its price. Tech Radar gave it high marks for bold colors, solid brightness, measuring 1,790 nits peak, and punchy HDR highlights. One reviewer who tested 13 TVS in 2025 called the QM7K one of the most impressive and budget-friendly TVS I've tested this year. The pattern is crystal clear. TCL's budget models under $400, the 3 Series, 4 Series, the Walmart doorbusters, are a gamble. The 3 Series costs under $150 for a reason, and that reason is corners cut everywhere that matters. Their mid-range stuff, from $500 to $1,200, is where the value lives. But at 35% return rate overall, you're still taking a bigger risk than with the top 3 brands. One Reddit user summed up the TCL experience. It's the TV equivalent of flying Spirit Airlines. When it works, you can't believe you got such a great deal. When it doesn't, you're stuck with something you can't trust and nobody who wants to help. Bottom line, TCL is feast or famine. Spend at least $500 and buy from a retailer with a good return policy, or spend your money elsewhere. Number 2, Sony, the premium price without premium support. Sony lands in second place, which might shock people who think of Sony as a premium brand. And to be fair, Sony makes excellent TVS. Their Bravia 9 is one of the brightest, most color-accurate sets you can buy. The problem isn't the hardware, it's everything else. Consumer Reports reliability ratings put Sony just behind Samsung. Sony TVs typically last at least 5 years, and many run for 10 years or more. Picture quality is exceptional, especially for upscaling lower quality content. And if you're watching cable TV or compressed streaming, Sony's processors make it look better than any other brand. But customer service is a disaster. One user on AVS forum described buying two Sony XBR55H HX95OES, their top model at the time. Both developed the horizontal line defect that Sony acknowledged as a manufacturing flaw. Sony's solution? A refurbished TV with a 90-day warranty for a known defect in their flagship model. Another reviewer on Consumer Affairs bought a 75-inch Sony for $1,600. Lasted 2 years. 2 years on a $1,600 TV. Pricing is Sony's other problem. You're paying a 30 to 40% premium over comparable models from other brands. The Bravia 9 with mini LED runs around $2,500 for a 65-inch. You can get similar or better picture quality from an LG C5 OLED for $1,700. Gaming support lags behind LG and Samsung. There are only 2 HDMI 2.1 ports instead of 4. No AMD FreeSync or NVIDIA G-Sync certification. Input lag improved to 10.1 milliseconds, which is decent, but not great for competitive gaming. The sound quality is genuinely impressive for a built-in TV speaker system. The Acoustic Multi-Audio Plus with beam tweeters creates a surprisingly good soundstage. But that doesn't justify a $2,500 price tag when you're still going to want a soundbar for movie nights. Bottom line, Sony makes beautiful TVs that'll last if you're lucky, but you're paying premium prices for mid-tier support. Hard to recommend when better values exist. Number 1. LG, the undisputed smart TV champion. LG takes the top spot, and after testing every major brand, this ranking isn't even close. Consumer Reports owner satisfaction ratings for LG are the highest in the industry, getting tied with Samsung and Sony. But LG edges ahead on features, value, and especially on their OLED lineup, which has become the benchmark everyone else chases. The LG C5 OLED earned a perfect 5-star rating from Tom's Guide. It's currently the best TV you can buy under $2,000. Perfect blacks because each pixel generates its own light. When a pixel is off, it's completely black, not the dark gray you get with LED backlights. Infinite contrast ratio, 144 Hz refresh rate for gaming, 4 HDMI 2.1 ports so you can connect your PS5, Xbox Series X, PC, and soundbar without unplugging anything. Dolby Vision support for the best HDR experience available, and WebOS smart platform that actually works without crashing every other day. Let me break down what those specs mean in real-world use. The 144 Hz refresh rate means motion is buttery smooth, whether you're watching sports, playing fast-paced games, or just scrolling through menus. The 4 HDMI 2.1 ports support full 4K at 120 Hz with VRR, variable refresh rate, and ALLM, auto low latency mode. Translation: plug in your console, and the TV automatically switches to game mode with the lowest possible input lag. No menu diving, no setup hassle. What Hi-Fi moved the C5 to best for gaming after extensive testing. Response time is basically instantaneous, measured in milliseconds so low they're imperceptible to human eyes. The HGIG setting, HDR Gaming Interest Group, makes HDR gaming dead simple. Instead of fiddling with brightness, contrast, and color settings for 20 minutes before every gaming session, you toggle HGIG on and it calibrates automatically based on your console's output. It just works. But gaming is only part of the story. For movies and TV shows, the C5's picture quality is reference level. Reds that look like actual red, not orangish red. Skin tones that look natural instead of weirdly tanned or pasty. Shadow detail in dark scenes that lets you see what's happening instead of squinting at a gray blob. Pricing? The 65-inch C5 is currently around $1,700, down from $2,700 just weeks ago. That's OLED technology, the same panel tech used in $3,000 plus Sony sets for barely more than premium mini LED. 3 years ago, that same quality OLED would have cost $3,500 easy. The B5 OLED is the budget option at $1,099 for a 65-inch. That's OLED quality, perfect blacks, infinite contrast, wide viewing angles, for less than many mini LED sets. It's not quite as bright as the C5, peaking around 700 nits versus the C5's 1,000 plus nits, but for most viewing conditions, anything except a sun-drenched living room with windows on 3 walls, it's more than enough. One reviewer specifically noted, you can get OLED quality without breaking the bank. If you want the absolute best, the G5 OLED is LG's flagship. It's basically a brighter, prettier C5 with a gallery design meant for wall mounting, but it costs $1,500 more for that extra brightness and aesthetic. And unless you're a videophile with a calibrated viewing room, you probably won't notice enough difference to justify the price jump. LG's WebOS smart platform is fast, intuitive, and doesn't bombard you with ads every time you turn on the TV. The interface is clean, app selection is comprehensive. Netflix, Disney+, HBO Max, Apple TV+, Amazon Prime, YouTube, everything you'd want. Updates come regularly, but don't brick the TV or break features that were working fine. It sounds basic, but after reading about Vizio's crashes and Hisense's bugs, it just works, is a legitimate, valuable selling point. Build quality is solid across the board. Multiple consumer report surveys show LG OLEDs lasting 7 to 10 years with heavy use, defined as 4+ hours daily. Yes, there's technically burn-in risk with OLED if you leave static images on screen for thousands of hours. But LG's pixel refresh features run automatically during power down cycles, and their warranty coverage has essentially eliminated this as a real-world concern for normal use. Customer service isn't perfect. No TV brand has perfect customer service. But LG's warranty claim process is straightforward compared to Sony's runarounds or Samsung's 6-week repair waits. They actually honor their warranties without making you jump through hoops, and replacement parts are readily available instead of back-ordered for months. One Amazon reviewer summed up the LG experience perfectly. Bought an LG C4 last year, set it up in 15 minutes. Haven't thought about it since. It just works, looks incredible, and I've had 0 issues. This is what a TV should be. A window to content, not a source of frustration. Bottom line, LG offers the best combination of picture quality, features, reliability, and value in 2026. Whether you're gaming, watching movies, or just streaming sitcoms, LG delivers an experience that makes you forget you're watching a TV. If your budget allows, this is where your money should go. Outrow. So here's my takeaway. In 2026, your smart TV is only as smart as the company that built it. Vizio and Westinghouse? Not even close. Philips and Hisense's budget models? Gambles that usually don't pay off. TCL and Sony? Solid if you pick the right model and price point. LG? The gold standard. Here's my question for you. Which brand TV are you using right now, and how long has it lasted without major issues? Drop a comment with the brand, model, and age. Let's build a real-world reliability database. If you want more honest TV reviews that'll save you from a $600 mistake, reviews that aren't sponsored by the brands selling you the TVs, subscribe now. Next week, I'm breaking down the TV store tactics that trick you into buying the wrong size. See you then.